Hello! It is so bright right here. I haven't really vlogged, like, pretty much since the show. Yeah, there's like a lot that has been like going through my head, and a lot of, it's so weird. It was like one moment I'm feeling so fired up, the next moment I was feeling like putting myself down, and I don't know how to describe it. I'm sure other people have like experienced this when they're like getting into bodybuilding, but I finally like had a realization yesterday, and I was talking to Nico about it, where like after my show, it almost didn't really feel real. Like it didn't really feel like it all happened. And then I finally got my stage shots, and I saw how much I had improved since the July show, and I like bawled my eyes out. Like I was so proud of what I accomplished. And then like the next day, I got in my head, like just started like tearing myself down, like almost like I wasn't, like I truly didn't earn my placings and stuff like that. Like it was, I don't know why my mind was going there. It was like, it was a smaller show for an NPC show, but even with like my class being smaller, like I still went up for the overall and like competed and like won against the other top classes, and then like placed first in open and almost won overall in open, and that girl's going on to national. So I don't know why, like I just started like, I don't even know how to describe it, like just poking holes in it, like I wasn't worthy of the wins and stuff. And so I finally just like had to acknowledge I was having those thoughts and kind of work through them and everything. And I've always kind of had the belief that like I don't attach my worth to my physical appearance. I don't attach my worth to the placings or like anything like of like how prestigious a show is or not. I attach my worth to my work ethic, how I show up for people, and I just needed to kind of come back to that and just kind of come back to that reminder, like that's where my self-worth is. And so if I show up in those areas of my life, then everything else kind of falls into place. So yeah, that's kind of what I was going through like this last week. The other thing I was dealing with too was I took those 2 days to just kind of like be off plan, eat whatever, like just break, right? And at first it was like mentally I needed that, and then I was so ready to like clock back in. But like the chokehold that sugar has on your brain is wild, like wild. So I really had a hard time, like when we built in my my reverse diet this first week post show, I asked for chocolate to be included because I was thinking like I've been craving it so much, like it'd be nice to just have like a small amount of it. And what I didn't realize is like every single time I would have that small amount, it would trigger me to then want more. So like all day I would feel so good eating the foods that were on my meal plan, and as soon as I would eat any kind of that refined sugar, I would want so much more of it. So I could, like the first few days I had a really hard time like only eating the amount that I was supposed to be having. And then when I checked in with Alex, he was just kind of like, yeah, like it takes your body a couple of days to kind of like digest through all that food that you did for those few days. So like, because my digestion was also kind of a mess after doing that for a few days. And he's like, your body will, like if you just eat the foods that are on your plan, like your body will come back to baseline and come back to normal, but you have to give it that chance to do it. So during my check-in this morning, today's Tuesday, so I'm a full week post show and like being back on tracking and everything, I asked for him to remove my chocolate because I'm like, I think about it all day. Like, okay, I have these 2 pieces of chocolate at the end of the night. And then once I have them, now that I have it like reeled back in, I'm still like, I have those 2 pieces, and then I'm like having this mental battle all evening long until I go to bed. And I just like, that is like mentally taxing, as well as like my digestion being a mess. That is mentally taxing for me as well. And I just want to like get back to a place where I feel like back in control. So I told him, I was like, it's really hard for me to like admit that like I'm struggling with the sugar piece of it, because I haven't had that issue since starting this whole program, since starting with Alex, like in October of last year. I haven't had any issues with that. So it's hard for me to admit that I'm having issues with the sugar. And I want to be able to like face the struggle head on so that I can figure out how to overcome it, and so it's not an issue in the future. But I haven't been able to reel it in this week, and I'm 9 weeks out from my next show, and I just want to be in like a good mental place. And after waking up this morning and telling him to ask him to remove it, he adjusted that with my plan. We're keeping everything else the same. My cardio is still low. Like, I can't tell you, like I had such a relief this morning waking up to check in and to ask that be taken out of my plan. Like, I feel so relieved that I don't have to think about, I don't have to think about that chocolate at the end of the night all day, because it's not even an option anymore. And that makes me so relieved. And that's how I know, like, okay, I made the right choice for what I need right now. And this is all like a really good learning experience, because I'm gonna have to go through, like, I'm kind of reversing right now, but I'm gonna stop calling this a reverse, because I'm in prep. I am prepping right now, and my calories are just high for this portion of my prep. So I'm done saying I'm reversing, because I am not reversing. I am in prep, and I'm stepping on stage in 9 weeks. And so this is all just like information that I need to remember and keep track of, so that when I do actually reverse and go into an off season, I want to do it in a way that is like gonna be healthy. And I want to remember the chokehold that sugar has on my brain. Learn from me. Right now I'm sitting like 7-ish pounds above my stage weight, which isn't even bad. I'm fine with whatever weight I've come up a little bit is okay, because right now we're in a surplus. And I'm not worried that like I won't get where I need to go. I'm not worried about that at all. It's more of like, I'm just kind of like uncomfortable because I'm bloated. So once that's gone, we'll be good. So I do think that it was important for me to talk about it a little bit, because I think everyone struggles post-show. Like, everybody struggles post-show. You're never alone. I think it's easy to get in your head. It's also easy during prep. I've talked about this, where like time is so warped in prep, where something could only be happening for like a day, and you feel like all week I've been feeling this, all week I've been fucking up and stuff like that. And so being able to like articulate this to you guys and to myself, because I'm 100% watching this back. I'm watching this back before like I go into my off season, to remind myself like why it's important to be on plan and not go so crazy post show and things like that. It's not just because of the weight gain that you could potentially do and mess with your metabolism and you know, fuck up with your, like, adding more fat on and things like that, but mentally, there's so many pieces to it. So I'm doing this for myself to watch back. I'm doing it for anybody else that it can play into. I know that a lot of people struggle post-show, and talk about it, be open. It's nothing to be ashamed of. You know, you're gonna bloat when you eat stuff that your body's not used to. I did a lot of research about like how your body can actually create, like, get a sugar intolerance. That's like a real thing, and why that's so hard for your digestion to break down when it hasn't been breaking that down, and that's why you get so bloated, and that's why your digestion gets so fucked up. So yeah, I'm learning a lot right now, and I'm gonna take you guys along with like what I do through these next 9 weeks to make sure my digestion stays in like a really strong place, so that it can handle as we transition out of prep and start introducing new foods and things like that. So that's my plan. All right, welcome back to the vlog, baby. We're 9 weeks out.